Call the police.
My God, is he dead?
I don't know. He's still breathing.
Here they come. He's over here, officer. He's badly hurt.
248. 248. Confirming an ambulance to 513 Thurston.
National's on the way, 248.
Anybody see what happened here?
Yes, sir, I did. The kid was riding down the sidewalk, and that car turned in this alley and knocked him all the way against this wall.
All right, lady, you stay here. Anybody else that saw what happened, please stay here. The rest of you, it's all over. Please go home. There's nothing more to see. Who's the driver of that car?
That's him. That funny-looking fellow over there.
All right, you stay there, please. Get back. It's okay, buddy. The ambulance is coming. They'll take good care of you. You're going to be all right.
I yelled at the driver to stop, but he just kept on going.
All right, I'll take your statement after the ambulance gets here.
Well, he looks crazy to me.
Hey, pal, wait a minute. Hold it for a minute. Look out. Freeze.
Oh, my God.
Now back up slowly.
Did you see that? I knew that driver was dangerous. He should have handcuffed him sooner. A fellow like that could kill somebody.
Now we'll see what kind of pop gun you got in there. Deaf. Are you deaf? Are you deaf? Yeah, deaf.
Well, he's deaf. The policeman nearly shot that poor deaf boy. They want to solve everything with guns.
5 Ruby, I run around the corner. Okay. 430 to 344. 344, channel 4.
That was a close one, all right. A real close one that our man in blue is likely to remember for quite some time. And you know, the irony of it is, he's a good cop, a real pro. You saw him yourself. He was quick, in control. He didn't lose his head. He thought the driver had flipped out and was going for his gun. Actually, the whole thing happened because the police officer didn't know the driver was deaf. I can understand how that could happen. After all, running into a deaf person isn't exactly an everyday occurrence. Still, mistakes do happen, bad mistakes. And even though the cop may not be at fault, he frequently gets the blame. So the way I see it, it wouldn't hurt to learn something about deaf people. I'm not talking about a college course or anything like that. I mean some basic, practical information that you can use on the job. The first thing we have to understand is that, except for their impairment, deaf people lead very normal lives. They have careers, they go to school, they raise families, and they like to get together with friends, just like you and me. And in an emotional situation, which is where you're likely to have contact with him, a deaf person may become frightened or mad or upset, just like a hearing person. In fact, it's just about impossible to identify a deaf person simply by looking at him. All this, of course, did not occur to our friendly neighborhood policeman in the 2 seconds that he had to make a decision. So, through no fault of his own, he had a close one that he'll remember for quite a while, and one that he'll probably hear about at roll call.
Okay, let's get started. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get going. Just got our weekly ratings, and according to the chief's figures, among other dubious distinctions, our section is now number 3 in unsolved burglaries. You know, get that guy's been breaking into garages in the Clinton area soon. We'll probably be number 1. Okay, here's an item. 807 Melrose, the Berghoffs are going to be away for a week. The teenage daughter's home alone. They want a close look on the place.
I'll take that assignment, Sarge.
You're not big enough, Tiny. I'll handle that job, Sergeant.
Okay, but I'll back you up.
We're supposed to be preventing crime, not creating it. Most of you probably heard about Rob's running last night. Rob, we got a complaint from someone in that crowd. Claims they witnessed police brutality against the deaf man. What's the story?
Damn it, I know just who made that complaint, too. It had to be that little old lady. Honest, Sarge, it's just the way I told the lieutenant. I didn't know the guy was deaf. He was acting kind of kooky, and when he ran, well, I thought maybe I had a mental on my hands. For all I knew, he had a gun in the glove compartment.
The only reason I bring it up is because it is unusual. How did you know he was deaf?
Well, at first I didn't. Later on, he started talking kind of funny. And then I asked him if he was deaf.
And he heard you and said yes.
No, he appeared like he could read lips. And then we started writing.
Writing? Did he fill out the report?
Hughes, there are times when I think it was a mistake to eliminate the height requirement for this job. Okay, the new flares are in, so pick some up on your way out and keep them away from your face. Get your assignments from the board. Russell, you're on foot. Don't forget to pick up a portable. Let's go.
Hey, Rob, why don't you take up that sign language?
Yeah, I'll do that, Tim. I'll fill it in between the part-time job and the college. What the hell? I got all kinds of time.
Take it easy, buddy. You'll be at Buster's on Friday, won't you?
Yeah.
See you then.
All right.
Hey, Rob.
Frank, I'll tell you, I never felt so screwed up in all my life pulling a gun on a deaf guy. Damn it, I'd like to live that thing over again, you know.
Rob, you got almost 10 years on the job. You've come close before. No sense reliving this crap. It's over. It's done. You were lucky.
Lucky?
You didn't get hurt and you didn't hurt anybody else. So Tim ribbed you a little bit. What'd you learn from the experience?
Well, I learned you can't treat a deaf person like a hearing person. But then again, how am I supposed to know they're deaf? What am I supposed to do, carry a hearing tester?
Easy, Rob. Did you learn anything else?
Yeah, I learned if you want to talk to a deaf person, you better use a pencil.
That's better. Keep up the good spirits. You're going to need your energy tonight.
Why, you expect us to catch the garage burglar?
Nah, full moon tonight.
Thanks, Frank.
All right.
Ridgeway 248.
248, go ahead.
I've got that turnover from Greenbaum's department store. I think the suspect is deaf. Could I get someone who knows sign language to meet me at the section office?
Sign language? 10-4. What's right, 248?
10-4.
What'd you bring in this time, Tim?
Were you able to get me a sign language interpreter?
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay, we'll be in the office.
Okay.
Hi. You called for an interpreter?
Yes, we did. I'm Sergeant Harkness.
Ron Reed.
Thanks for coming over, Ron. We're in this office over here. Ron Reeves, this is Officer Hughes.
Hello. Thanks for coming, Ron. Maybe you can shed some light on the situation. I picked her up at Greenbaum's as a shoplifter. She acts like she can't hear. I tried writing, but she didn't seem to understand. Anyway, she's not giving me any information.
We'll see what we can do. My name is Ron Reeves. The police have called me here to interpret for you. Can you understand me? Yes, but I don't understand these two. Why have they brought me here? I don't know. I'm just interpreting. I'll stand here beside you, and you can ask her your questions.
I thought deaf people read lips.
Only some of them do. Now, while you're talking to her, remember to look at her, not at me.
What's your name, please? Ask her what her address is.
Talk directly to her.
What's your name and address?
Martha Wells, 343 Arlington.
Can you tell me what happened at Greenbaum's, Miss Wells?
Well, I was shopping, and all of a sudden, a fellow from the store came up and grabbed me by the wrist.
The store detective said he stopped you going through the door with a sweater.
Yes, she is. I see.
Well, I only wanted to see the color out in the sunlight.
The detective said the sweater was in your purse.
Tim,
Yes, Sarge.
That was the store. They've decided not to prosecute because she's deaf.
You're kidding. After we got an interpreter here and everything.
I'm not kidding.
You're lucky, lady. The store decided not to prosecute. The store doesn't want to have you arrested. You're free to go.
I'm free? I can go now?
You can go now. I'll take you to your car. Tom, are you going out now?
Yeah, what do you need?
Could you take her by Greenbaum so she can pick up her car?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks. Thanks for coming, Rob.
Don't thank me. I build the department.
Well, I'm glad you came anyway. You know, somehow it seems so ineffective, like I wasn't really talking to her.
Well, you did fine. She got the message. That's what an interpreter is used for, to make sure that you're communicating and being understood.
Why is it so important that I look at her when I'm talking, when you're the one who was doing all the signing?
Oh, you're still communicating with your gestures, your eye contact, your expression. And when we stand together, she can watch both of us. You for lip movement and expression, and me for the signs.
How can I tell if a person is deaf?
You can ask. Use the sign.
Like this?
Yes, good. It looks like what it means. Can't hear, can't speak. It comes from the old idea that deaf people were mute, too. The newer sign is deaf, ears closed.
Well, if she wasn't mute, why wouldn't she talk?
You better get back on the road. Your engine's getting cold.
Right. If you'll excuse me now, I must depart. Crime runs rampant in the streets if Tiny Tim isn't on patrol.
I understand. Nice talking to you.
You too.
Don't go just yet, Reeves. I have a couple of questions of my own about all this.
Oh, where's Rob? Jeez, the guy's never on time.
Anybody home here?
About time, Rob.
Here's my contribution, Margie.
Thanks, Roger. Oh, how do you know it's just 3 days till payday?
I swear, it seems like we've had spaghetti every night this week.
You're telling me? Same thing in our place. Why, things are so bad that last night I had a dream about a steak.
How you doing, sweetheart? You're looking pretty good.
Hey, get away from him, Margie. The guy's an animal.
Margie, what I don't understand is how a sweet young thing like you puts up with this crusty old man.
That's what happens when you spend your life fighting crime, protecting the innocent and downtrodden. Baby, it's a real jungle out there.
All right, that's enough out of you. When we get back in the kitchen, where you belong and rustle up some pretzels. You can't tell him the truth. I swear to God, she thinks I write traffic tickets.
How are things in narcotics anyway?
Busy, man, all the time. They don't call me Buster for nothing.
Kick him out.
How are things out in Ridgeway section?
Guess you heard about my star billing, huh?
Oh, you mean that hassle with the deaf guy?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and right after that, I ran into a deaf lady shoplifter. Excuse me, alleged shoplifter.
Well, what's the big deal? You run into a couple of deaf people.
Yeah, but 2 deaf people in 2 days in one section? Hey, it's weird, man.
What was that like, Rob?
You can't imagine. And you'd never believe how it affects you until it actually happens. I was totally unprepared for it.
What did you do? How did you talk to him?
Well, once I found out he was deaf, I had to write down everything. It took forever.
The lady I had was miffed. She wouldn't write. She didn't want to have anything to do with me.
So what did you do?
Got an interpreter. She opened up to him. You know, it's kind of interesting, that sign language stuff.
Yeah, all right. So now we've learned. If you don't have a pencil, you call an interpreter, right? Hey, I came here to play cards. You guys gonna play or talk all night? Huh? Thank you, sir. Let's go.
Margie, baby, bring us some more beer. Last request. I promise.
Yes, master. But after this, you guys will have to fend for yourselves.
Okay.
I'm going to watch television. And I do not wish to be disturbed.
What's the age? All right. There's a couple up there for anything.
Ridgeway 278.
Ridgeway 278.
278. 64 Merriman Street for cars unknown.
64 Merriman Street, 10-4. Two 278.
278, go ahead.
64 Merriman Street. Send it back up. It's a fight, second floor rear. I'm going in.
10-4, 278. 258, head over to 64 Merriman Street in the rear.
Please.
278.
Okay, let's break it up. Come on. Let him go. Break it up. Break it up. Okay, break it up. Hold it. Hold it right there. Okay, you sit down over there. I said sit down. You sit over here, okay? I said hold it. Break it up. Let him go.
What's that?
Get that one over there. Where were you 10 seconds ago?
I don't know, looks like I missed all the fun, huh? I gotta leave. Get out of here, get out.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Get up, get up.
Are these guys all deaf or what?
Yes!
Well, do you read lips?
Yes!
Good. You can tell them they're under arrest. If they want any more trouble, I'll crack their heads open. Let's go.
Come on, look out, Lee. He was spotted this morning in a red Pinto, license number 277 ART. That's 277 Adam Roger Thomas. Lady says he has a gun, so be careful. Item 3. We got a garage burglar.
Who got him, Sarge?
DeWolf from 1st Platoon. That should improve our ratings anyway. Phillips, you had a fight last night. A couple of deaf guys, right?
Again?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I got a cause unknown. When I got there, those two guys are really going at it. When I broke them up and told them to sit down, they didn't. They started right in again. The girl, she talked kind of funny. That's what clued me in that these people just might be deaf. Then I thought about what happened to Rob and Hughes. I almost had a hernia trying to keep those guys separated. No way was I going to get out a pencil and paper and write notes like Rob did, or excuse myself to go telephone an interpreter. And to top it off, Dave shows up on time as usual.
Well, it seems we've had more than our share of encounters with deaf people lately. When I told the captain about it, he suggested we bring in the interpreter, Ron Reeves. He's a fella helped Hughes out the other day. He's going to give us some pointers, so pay attention. Ron?
I talked with the captain about the kinds of problems you've been having, and I think I can help by giving you some things that you can remember and use. Deaf people communicate among one another in different ways, but here's how you can communicate with them. If they don't understand your speech, then you can write, you can use an interpreter, or you can sign. Now, in some emotionally charged situations like that fight, signing may be essential. In most cases, the police officer who signs surprises the deaf person, and it's easier to get control of the situation. Now, I can't teach you all about sign language in one day, but here are a few essential signs. The first is stop, like this, stop. You want to try it with me? Stop. Once you've got the person to stop what they're doing, tell them to calm down, like this. Calm down. Great. Now, you've got the situation under control, so ask them what happened. What happened? What happened? Okay. You've told the person to stop what it was they were doing. You told them to calm down. You've asked them what happened. Now, that person is very likely to tell you what happened in sign language, and you're very likely not to understand it. So at this point, tell them to write it down by making a pad and pencil with your hands. Yes?
Ron, but I thought all deaf people learn to read lips in school.
No, only about 1/3 of the deaf population can. And even for them, it's very difficult, especially if you're chewing gum.
But Ron, how do you tell if a person's deaf in the first place?
Well, there's no easy way. About the only way you can spot a deaf person immediately is if they happen to be signing. And even so, there are people you'll run into who pretend to be deaf, but who really aren't.
Yeah, now that happened to me one time.
Oh, really? What did you do?
Well, when the fellow wasn't looking, I dropped a dime on the sidewalk behind him. His head turned around so fast, I thought it would snap off.
Well, it's a good idea, but it may not always work. Most of the time, a deaf person will explain their handicap to you by signing something like, okay, can't hear, can't speak, or maybe the newer sign for deaf, which is ears closed. But even these are pretty easy for an imposter to pick up. So the best way to take care of both situations, to identify a deaf person and to smoke out fakers, is to sign some kind of a command. something that they have to do in order to prove that they understand your signs. Okay? You could use this. Take two L-shaped hands, like this, and bump them together. Good. Okay, that means license. If you do that, a deaf person will, most of the time, take out their license and show it to you. Now, regardless of whether you're talking or signing, using an interpreter, or writing, it's important to make sure that the deaf person is understanding by having them repeat back what you've said. Now, that's time-consuming, I know, but it's really essential. Are there any questions?
How long does it take to learn sign language?
Oh, that depends. The more you use it, the easier it becomes.
How long did it take you?
Well, about 3 to 6 months for the basics. But most interpreters go through intensive training programs, and mine was 2 years.
What if I want to... I'm sorry, fellas. We're out of time. Could you come back another day?
Sure, anytime.
Good. Okay, check the board for your assignments. Phillips, you're on foot. Payne, your box is full. Let's go.
Well, I hope that information will be helpful.
Sure will.
Good. Nice to meet you, too.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for coming. You're welcome. Captain?
Yeah, that's familiar.
Well, all right. I'll give you a call later.
All right, you stay loose, Ken.
Right.
Deaf people don't want to be treated as special. Nobody's above the law. They just want to be included. In fact, in some communities, police departments are taking the initiative in finding ways to communicate with deaf people. In Rochester, New York, the RPD has been providing sign language training and interpreting to improve their ability to communicate with deaf people in the community. They have officers who can handle the problems you've just seen. Actually, it's not all that difficult to communicate with deaf people. What it boils down to is having the right attitude, the desire to communicate, and making the effort. And that effort can save you a whole lot of hassle.
Five 14658 658.
268 to 258.
58.
Meet me behind the ballpark.
Be there in a minute.
Hey, what'd you think of the interpreter and that sign language stuff?
Oh, I don't know, Tim. It seems like it'd take an awful long time to learn that.
To be as good as Ron is, sure. I just meant learning a few signs. It's interesting how the signs sort of look like what they mean. I wonder if we'd get a chance to use it again.
On this job, you never know.
Hey, the poker game's at your place next time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Meet you later at Sandy's for coffee?
Okay.
You bet.